In another lesson, we look at the importance of naming dishes, and in this lesson, we look at how to place those dishes in the menu to encourage success. The first thing to realize is plant-based dishes should be listed alongside the meat dishes and not in separate veg sections or on a separate menu. This is one of the most common mistakes F&B businesses make when launching plant-based foods. There was a study done by World Research Institute that had the same dishes organized in two different ways. On the left, the plant-based dishes were alongside the meat dishes, and on the right, they were in a separate section. They found the menu on the left increased the orders of the plant-based food by an incredible 56%. Remember, flexitarians don't identify as vegetarian or vegan, so if you create a section and name it like that, they will feel like the food is not for them, even though it has dishes they would enjoy. And never have a separate menu. It's unnecessary extra work for you and just lower sales. So you may be wondering, how do people know if something is plant-based? Some restaurants tend to go the stealth route and not identify it in any way, just like you wouldn't point out which dishes have meat. That's totally fine, but it does lower efficiency a bit when you have vegan and vegetarian diners because they'll need to ask your waitstaff what is suitable. Personally, having to ask annoys me as well. In the example we looked at, they indicated it with a V in brackets. I would guess that would still dissuade some people because they know what the V stands for, and again, may not identify as that. Although there is unfortunately no data out there on this, I would venture the best way would be to add a neutral symbol like a leaf or a green dot, and then somewhere else in the menu indicate what that symbol means. Here's a simple example with a leaf. It may even be better to put this symbol after the list of ingredients instead, so it again is less conspicuous. The people that care about these symbols will find them no matter where they are. Next, if you're using plant-based substitutes for meat, eggs, or dairy in your dishes, just use the same names as what it's replacing, or use brand names. So an example of a fast way to turn flexitarians off ordering a burger would be to say a soy patty with vegan cheese. Or sometimes a restaurant will change the spelling, like chicken, to CHIK''N. This naming just comes across as weird, and people aren't there to eat weird. So to fix that, let's just look at these examples. Taking what else we've learned on focusing on flavors and textures can be applied to the descriptions as well. So hickory smoked barbecue patty topped with melted cheddar cheese, fresh beefsteak tomato, crunchy romaine lettuce, and dill pickles. This sounds delicious and again is accessible to anyone regardless of their philosophy on food. I put the leaf there as an example to show how it can be communicated that it's plant-based if you like. Another example with this would be to use the brands. Hickory smoked barbecue impossible meat patty topped with melted Daya cheddar cheese, fresh beefsteak tomato, crunchy romaine lettuce, and dill pickles. You'll have to reflect on whether the previous example or this one works best for your market, or potentially you can even do A/B testing on your menu designs with it. Whether your dish is meat-based or plant-based, it is important to be prepared for allergies. So it should always be a step of your waitstaff to ask if there are any allergies or intolerances, or have an allergy card available at the table for your customers. For example, if you add plant-based ice cream to your menu that's made from nuts, a customer with a nut allergy may assume it is nut-free, like other dairy ice creams are usually nut-free. So allergy check-ins are good to have as part of your standard operating procedures. Lastly, in this process, you may decide to redevelop your menu design entirely, and there has been some research around this. As part of this, you can increase the success of your plant-based menus. Here are a few tips. Number 1, highlight food with photos or boxes or with labels like Chef's Choice. Number 2, the first and last menu items in a list get the most attention. Number 3, keep a menu section list down to 5 to 7 items at a time, or it overwhelms the customer and they end up defaulting to ordering what they normally would do rather than trying your new menu out. And number 4, you want to test your menu design. Make sure that it is producing the results you are looking for. So, our key point is your plant based dishes will be more successful if placed alongside meat dishes in the menu and keeping the focus on the food rather than the plant based labels.